This is task 1B, and this is the final part where you're being asked to annotate. Now you see here it says annotate the evidence of how it meets requirements. This is the first time you've been asked to annotate anything in the tasks, so we're just going to talk through exactly what we need to do. Well, first of all, we need to get this external CSS file. So here's our composer window, and there's a CSS file. What you need to do is open that file with something like Notepad, or even better Notepad++, because it then gives you this sort of like colored coordination throughout, and then you can just copy and paste or take a screenshot of the actual CSS file and paste it into here. But we also need to show evidence that it's an external CSS file. You see here it says external. So what I've done is done some screenshot evidence here to show that the file exists as sheepsquare.css, and then over here showing the HTML in the home page where it actually links to that style sheet, and you can see the reference to the style sheet. You'll find that in the header source, and I'll just show you how to get that. So you go to the index.html page, go to source, and there, that is where you will find it. And so just screenshot that. Don't just screenshot the one line, do a few bits so that it's obvious that it's within this particular page, especially if you include the bit that says title. Now you've then got to annotate to show how those requirements were met. So what we need to do is go through each of the styles and annotate to say what each of them mean. Okay, so I've taken here the fact that the title style is 800 pixels wide, so I'm going to highlight that to confirm that I've covered it. It's got a yellow background, so again I'm going to highlight that to confirm I've covered it. And the default font has been set to Comic Sans. Okay, well we're told here about Comic Sans and here about Comic Sans, but we'll need to do that again in a minute. 32 pixels, well because it's a heading, right, so that's that bit there. And it's going to be color yellow, and we've covered that already, and weight bold. Now actually I can see there's an error here, and that is that the background color is set to yellow and the font color is set to yellow, and that's obviously not going to work. Now this is clearly just a typical error that's been made, and it should never have been yellow in the first place. It should just be following the normal black style, so we can actually get rid of that in our answers. So we move on to hyperlinks. Okay, so this is the hyperlinks area. We can see that it's 150 pixels wide. Background color is blue. We've got white text, so we can cover that off, and Comic Sans and 16 pixels. So all the things that we were asked to do have been done, and we can now move on to the next section. And you just keep doing this, and it's a technique to use to just make sure that you're covering all of the requirements, because it's annotation that will actually get you the marks. It's not necessarily the quality of your work in terms of how much technical ability you've got, but it's about whether you've annotated it. And unfortunately, if you don't annotate it properly, you won't get the marks. So do make sure that you check everything off, check that you've done everything exactly as was asked for, and then that is this section finished. So well done so far.